Hello everyone, my name is John Bussard. I'm an HPE Solution Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support servers, blade systems, storage, as well as networking technology solutions from HPE. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint and explain to you what that means within a management interface. Today, we're going to continue on our discussion with HPE's Converged 380. And as this slide suggests, it's a virtual machine vending machine. The best way I know of to be able to show that to you is show you the OneView user experience, or what's sometimes called the new UX interface or the new user experience interface. This is an easy to use interface that allows you to be able to manage, maintain, as well as deploy virtual machines within your hyperconverged environment. So somebody who isn't necessarily virtualization savvy could use this interface again to manage, maintain, as well as deploy their hyperconverged infrastructure. So, with that being said, let's explore this management interface. One of the first things that I'd like to make you aware of is just because we have this new user interface, I don't necessarily lose any of the tools that come with in my virtualization environment. So for example, I'm logged into the vSphere web client here, and that vSphere web client is actually talking to this virtual machine right here. So that's my vCenter incident right there. Some of the other virtual machines that exist within the environment, obviously I've got a 2-node hyperconverged environment, so 2 ESX servers, and each one of these ESX servers has a software-defined storage virtual machine layered on top of it, which that's what these two guys are right there. The other two virtual machines that come as a part of a standard deployment is going to be this OneView incident. You don't really log into this OneView incident at all. This is really the backend engine to the new user experience, which is found in this virtual machine. So this virtual machine leverages this virtual machine for the information that it presents. All these other virtual machines I've created, so I have something to be able to show you once we look into this new user interface. So to log into that, what you're going to do is just plug in the IP address of the virtual machine into a web browser. And then log in with the credentials you gave as a part of the deployment. Again, a part of the instant on deployment. You can see this is a very easy to use and simplistic view into your environment, where I can see CPU resources, memory resources, as well as store resources within my hyperconverged environment. All right, and this is the storage that I actually have deployed. All right, the memory and CPU resources that we're seeing here, these are actually all the CPU and memory resources across all of the hyperconverged nodes, or across all of my ESX nodes. All right, and this is how much capacity I have left over to be able to deploy my infrastructure. Right, and I can go look at some detail on this by just clicking on it. Right, get back to the dashboard. There's this icon up on top. I'll click on that and then click dashboard. So something else we can do at the dashboard, we can do a search. Right, so I know some of my virtual machines are named large. Right, so I could quickly find those and bring them up. Right, so that's the dashboard. Let's move on and actually look at the virtual machines that I've created in this environment. We have a few of them. You can see some of the ones that I've created today, as well as some that I've created in the last 30 days. Right. I can change my view into this environment pretty quickly by going up here and just taking a look at maybe the critical systems. Systems with a warning, or maybe some systems that are disabled. I can also sort these by when they were last modified, or a variety of other contexts, maybe something like CPU utilization. It's quick and easy to be able to create these virtual machines. I can just go up here, select the plus sign, give the machine a name. Select the size for it. We'll do medium here. Select the disk image. We'll talk a little bit more about this in a bit. And then select add. And we'll begin the deployment process of this virtual machine. So some of the other things that we can do, again, I select something like this machine here. We can get its utilization as well as some activity that's happened. We can restart the machine, power off the machine, take a snapshot, edit it, or actually remove the machine if I wanted to. There's also a console here that I can open up to actually interact with that machine if I felt like it. That's kind of an overview of the virtual machines themselves. Let's look at activity. So this is the activity that's happened within this environment. You see a variety of things, and of course I can limit that down. So if I want to go down, actually look at all the tasks that happen with the environment, I can do that as well. And I can see that one virtual machine that I'm deploying right now. And that's activity. Next will be images. These are the actual images that I'll use to deploy virtual machines. You can do this in a couple different ways. So certainly I could create templates within my virtualized environment. And if you actually look at my vSphere web client, and we'll go over to the templates view, you'll actually see some templates that exist down here. And they are the exact same names of what you see over here. So templates will show up. I can import these as well. So I could actually import an OVF file, so open virtual machine formatted file, or an OVA file, as well as an ISO. But keep in mind, if we import an ISO, it's going to be a little bit more as far as the deployment process is concerned, because somebody's going to have to know how to actually install that operating system. Right? But just from the get-go, right, I can have images that I can deploy pretty quickly within my environment. Right. Next, we'll look at sizes. So these are the sizes of the virtual machines that I want to create in my environment. I'll have to select one of these as a part of the deployment. From the get-go, I've got small, medium, and large, and they come as default. But if I wanted to create a new, I'll just go up there and add a size, and we'll say Ingram Micro Solution Center. And we'll say maybe I wanted 4 CPUs, and we'll say, I don't know, 10 gigs of RAM, and we're happy with the disk space. I'll add that, and it'll show up over here. I'll kind of bring that all together. Let's go back to virtual machines. Let's add another virtual machine. Let's give it a name, and we'll call it Solution Center VM. We'll select our new size, and we'll select an image. This time maybe we'll take CentOS, and then we'll add that into the environment. You see it's deploying now. So that's how images and sizes interact together to create virtual machines. Down below here, we'll see I have utilization. So utilization is a quick way to get an overview of how your resources are being consumed within your hyperconverged environment. Right now, my view is showing the top virtual machine utilization of memory used as the area. So the bigger the box is, the more memory that's being used, as well as the percent CPU is color. So the color represents the amount of CPU that's being used. And if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see that this teal color would be 90% or more. This darker gray color is 40% more, and this light gray is 40% or less. So it gives us a quick view as to how our resources are being used within the environment. And of course I can change that. So for example, if I want to look at the areas disk space being used, I could change it. And if maybe I want to change the color to memory, I could do that as well. So that's utilization. Let's move down to settings. So settings is how you configure this appliance. So first, the identity of this VM. The vCenter incident you're going to connect to. You can connect to LDAP or Active Directory with this system, or even edit the local account that I logged into as today. The nodes. So there's 2 nodes in this environment, and this is the section where you actually set up the ILO connection. So if you choose to set up ILO within your hyperconverged environment, you could add it to this context as well. And then finally, you get some advanced analytics if you want to have a cloud optimizer incident. Right, so some other things, we could update the software over here, back up the configuration, restore from this backup, create support dump, or even restart the system itself. So let's go back to virtual machines. And in a little bit, we should see that this virtual machine will come online, or these virtual machines should come online. Okay, we can see our virtual machine is online now. So let's click on it. You can see it's starting to consume some CPU as well as memory resources and of course storage resources. And we can click on the console over here, where again we can interact with our system. But with that being said, it's pretty quick and easy to use. As you can see, somebody who isn't necessarily virtualization savvy could actually come in and actually deploy their environment. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for more videos.